Hi there. In this quick video we'll be taking a look at these two wireless interconnected carbon monoxide alarms from Wisualarm. Thank you very much for sending these two units in. Many people might not know about something like this, but you should learn about them because at least in my country, but I'm quite sure that everywhere else, at least where there's a cold season, when you need to heat up the house in a way or another, there are a lot of cases of carbon monoxide poisoning and or intoxication, not sure how it's better called, and some of them sadly are fatal. The problem with carbon monoxide is that it actually bonds to your hemoglobin, so basically it's kind of hard for your body to make the gas exchange that it needs to do for you to be able to survive. If you have, I don't know, a fireplace, a central heating system, or anything else that has the potential to create carbon monoxide, get something like this. It's not a joke, it can save your life, and I think that's quite important. Another bad thing about carbon monoxide is that it's basically colorless, odorless, and tasteless. So you kind of have no idea what's happening until it might be too late. If you have any questions, obviously feel free to ask in the comments. Here is more info about them. So they work in standard temperatures. I cannot exceed this in any way or another. So the sensor has a maximum lifetime of 10 years. This is, as far as I know, a type of chemical sensor. So it makes sense that after a while it's not going to work anymore. And 10 years, yeah, seems quite okay. After 10 years you need to replace this. It has done its I don't know, full potential, and it has done what it needed to do. And you want a new one that's again sensitive to carbon monoxide as it should be. As you can see, replace the device within 10 years from the day of installation of the unit. Yes, should be installed by a competent person, protecting individuals from acute effects of carbon monoxide exposure. Yep, that sucks. It will not fully safeguard individuals with specific medical conditions. If in doubt, consult a medical practitioner. There might be people that are either more sensitive to this, or maybe are unable to move by themselves. So something like this, even if they hear it, they basically cannot do anything to get out of harm's way. I think that's probably what this is referring to. So let's get inside of these boxes and see what we have in here. The unit itself, quite a small little unit, so in any room you put it, and the design of it will take even a better look at it in a moment. It's actually quite okay, and you will not feel, hey, this looks odd, doesn't belong here. No chance of that. This to drill the holes in your wall, basically, so you don't try and measure stuff up. You just stick this to the wall. It's self-adhesive, and drill the holes where you want. Open up this little bag and take a better look at the unit. From what I can see in here, is it meant? These are slanted. This is giving me an idea. Yeah, this is meant to stay also like this, if you don't want to install it on something. So you can have it just laying around on a piece of furniture or something like that. But for me it will be going on the wall. You can see in, out. So this remains on the wall and you can take this out, presumably in case you need to replace the battery. And yes, remove before use. We will be removing it in a moment. Some info in here and some info in here about the importer, and also maybe we'll check the manual if this is some programming port, and a little button which it tells this thing, hey, I'm in. Probably it only starts working when this is locked in place. We'll see about that from the manual in a moment, because I don't want to start it without reading the manual first. What else? Manual, we'll be taking a look at it in a moment. And this to attach it to the wall. They are quite small, so the unit is really light. They will not create problems on any type of walls out there. So let me take a look quickly at the manual and get back to you if I find something that I feel it's worth pointing out. It's really complete. It also describes what carbon monoxide is, the symptoms, the levels in parts per millions, and what they mean. Yeah, kind of bad. Where the gas can come from. I didn't even think of garages. So yeah, if you have a closed garage and have a car, obviously do not run it in there. But if there's any chance you will ever run it, even for a short while, you should have a sensor like this in there. So yeah, really, really good manual. All the info on how you should install this thing, how to operate it. It seems the sensor itself is called a Figaro sensor. 85 decibels at 3 meters. This is loud, and it needs to be, because it needs to be able to wake you up. A bit more info about this. This is when it gets triggered at 50 parts per million, between 60 and 90 minutes if it stays at that, 110 to 14 minutes, and if it's above 300, less than 3 minutes, it triggers. You can silence it for 45 seconds by pressing the silence button in case you need it. Battery life is 7 years, so you will be changing the battery once during the lifetime of this device. It tells you here how to connect more devices, and I think you can connect a lot of them. I've read actually here, but I don't remember. Be back in a second. What's the number? 24. So you can in a quite large space fill it up with devices and monitor a lot of rooms, and they will all be interconnected. So even for a business, I think this is really good. How to connect? This diagram here helps a lot. I think even without the text, if I would see this, I would be able to connect them. I'm saying that now before I started to connect. We'll see what I say a bit later. How to test interconnected ones. Where you should install it, where you shouldn't install it. Did I skip a page? No, I didn't skip a page. Levels, depending on the situation in your particular room, and if you have a combustion device in there or not. Here is where do not install it. I thought it's on the other page, but I was mistaken. Exactly how to install this. Maintenance, battery replacement, and I think we have the last page in a moment. Yeah, here it is. And also, if you want to scan this, let me try to make it as flat as possible if you ever need this code for more info. And from here other languages start, and this is the list of the available languages. Let's start them and pair them. Remove before use. It's actually preventing the battery connection. It beeped. I made sure the battery is pressed in. Now we have a connection in here. You can see right there the reading. Nothing about this. So could be just either a test port or a programming port or not adjustment. I cannot find the word for it now. Calibration. Yeah, found it. Remembered. Okay, first unit. Power on the second unit. The battery, I don't think I showed you. CR123A 3-volt battery. Second unit. Now let's pair them. So 4 presses on the one which will be the main one. In my case, I don't think it matters. As you can see, it disables the display itself to save battery life. So you check it when you want to check it, or hopefully never see it during an alarm, but probably in an alarm it will also show us the value. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is the main one, and on the second one, 1, 2. And now you heard the beep. And I think they should be already paired. I hope. Let me check the manual just to be sure. Yes, it seems it's okay. And this one is flashing green. That one is flashing red, because this one can wait for other devices to connect. We don't have other, so we will let them time out and the connection should be done and we can test them. Both of them beeped. And power was green on both of them. As you can see, also screens are on once again. Okay, to test this, because they are interconnected, we need to press and hold this. The first alarm will start showing us alarm and beeping. We do not release the button until this one also starts to beep. Both of them were beeping at that point, and you could see alarm and power were blinking on the second one. When we released, the test stopped. And I'm just testing one of them, or it doesn't work as long as they are at least two interconnected, the simple test. No, this is, okay, it works. So this is test just for a single one. When you just press it once. Let me see, on this one I can do that also. Yeah, it's test only for a single unit. But let's test from this one to see if it activates the other one. Normally it should work in exactly, where can I press so you actually see everything. It should work bidirectionally without any issue whatsoever. And as you could see, it's fully working bidirectionally. Next step for me, put these two units onto the walls. Getting ready to install the first unit, just took off this plastic from the back of it, and I will use this to mark the holes. I'm not going to use the little glue on the wall paper, because for this it's quite simple, and this also has a lip here that I can use my level onto it to make sure that this is not crooked one way or another. So for me it's simpler like this. We have brick walls, so I'm using a 5mm drill bit. to put these plastic fixing pieces into the wall. I'm looking through my phone, so who knows if I can hit this with the hammer. Next one needs to also go in. If you have different materials on your walls, yeah, you might need different fastening techniques. Just want to point out on the two remaining ones, I've seen a million of these things while working on various projects. These are really good quality. They enter really nicely in the hole, but also are a good fit, and they will not come out easily once we put these things into them. Well, the WebR level says it's good enough, and I tend to believe it. I tightened this one a little bit at an angle by mistake. Doesn't matter at all. Do not over tighten them, obviously. Tighten them just to hold this in place without moving. And now the unit just slides on, but be warned, you need to to find the rails, so there might be a bit of wiggling around until it is in there and it's locked. And this thing is at about 1 meter from the furnace itself, from this room that it's actually protecting, and more than 15 centimeters from the ceiling itself. And we also have a natural gas sensor in here, which I have no clue if it's actually working. I never saw it actually activate, but it shouldn't in theory activate, but nor do I have any info about it, because it was installed by the previous owner of this house. So yeah, anyway, this thing is on. Let's put the other one on in another room and test them. And yeah, I think this one is pretty much okay also. And this is not in use. As you can see, my daughter still play around with it because ta-da-na-na, no connection to the great outdoors yet. We were too late to install it, so we couldn't do the connections before winter came. So yeah, it will be done when spring comes this time. So this thingy will not beep for the moment, but the other one can beep, hopefully never, and this will give us a warning about the other one, because in theory in here nothing could trigger it, I hope. So next step, my wife will be filming this one, and I will go into the central heating room and test that one by holding the button, and let's see if this activates also, because now we have two brick walls between them. So let's see. Problem is, I have no idea if the other one is beeping, so I'm hoping it is, and my wife will tell me when I get there, obviously. I think this should be enough. And as you could see, it beeped, so absolutely no problem for this thing to go through two brick walls, which is perfect. And yeah, it's the type of product that I hope to never hear, but in case I ever hear it, probably it just saved my life or my family member's life, which is kind of priceless, I think. So yeah, thank you again, Wisualarm, for sending these units in. They are a great addition to, I don't know, safeguard our house. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, and as always, see you in the next video. Bye.